So I bought another motorcycle. Pop here. Had one of these a long time ago when I was a kid. If I can find a picture, I'll insert that. It's pretty funny. I had long hair. But what I have here is a Silverwing, 1982. 40 whatever years old. It's kind of sad. Got a pretty good deal on it. Kind of runs. Kinda. It's not happy. So let's see if we can make it roadworthy again. Kind of excited to ride it, but it does run. But it makes a lot of noise. So we're gonna do the timing chain adjustment, we'll do a valve adjustment, we'll check these plugs out. And I'm also gonna have to replace these fork seals. They are leaking profusely, which makes it not very manageable to ride. But I do have, over here, fork seals from All Balls. And I think I'm gonna go with the 15 weight and make it a little bit firmer ride because of the luggage. So I'll get things set up for that. As I pull the plug out of here, just doesn't look happy. It does look like a fairly new plug, so probably the guy I got it from put that in there. And I have the factory tools, but pop the other one out of the other side. It's kind of wet, but I did just use the choke to start it. A little black, so it's kind of running a little rich. I probably need to clean the carburetors out. I love it when they come with all the factory tools. So let's see what the other one looks like. It's not happy. If they look the same, then that's good. If they look different, then I got one cylinder firing better than the other. Very long-winded spark plugs. Well, this one, the gap seems closer, and it's dry. One wet, one dry. So I definitely have some carburetor problems. These are supposed to be at around 28. Both 28. That one's even more black. So definitely running too rich. I don't know why. They're also running different. So I'm gonna have to get a set of vacuum gauges and dial them in with each other. But I think first, let's go ahead and take this one back out. First, I'm gonna go ahead and set valve clearance, or check valve clearance. Have to get it up on top dead center. There is a up in here where we can't see, of course. Well, shade. Yeah, up in here. There's a cap you take off to turn the motor over. Right here's another cap you take off to view what position the motor's in. Once we get it on top dead center, we'll remove, we'll just loosen this bolt, let the cam chain tensioner pull spring load, retighten it so we don't have our cam retensioned. Then we'll pull valve covers and see what the valve clearances are. Let me pop a couple plugs off and we'll check her out. Okay, I got a cover out of the way. Right there is a nut. Well, a cap. That you remove that with a 17 millimeter, and then inside there, so I can't really show this very well, is a 17 millimeter that you rotate the motor with. So yeah, hard to show. Okay, maybe we can see in there. It says TL, which is top left. So it should be on top dead center left cylinder. And I look down in here and I can see the pistons at the top. So with that in place, I can loosen that bolt. I hope it looks pretty crusty, and that should reset the spring and the timing chain tensioner. So I wonder what size. Stand y'all up here. How big? Oh yeah, that hasn't been done in a long time. So I'll bet that's a problem. That is a 10 millimeter. I think I'm going to put a socket on that, because I sure don't want to have an issue with that stripping out or anything. But if I break it, you get to watch. Oh, there we go. I'm sure the camera didn't hear it, but I just heard it actually slip inside there, so. So you just tighten it back up again, and that should be done like every other oil change. So supposedly we just readjusted the timing chain tension. I'll pull these valve covers off next. I gotta go look at the book because I don't really know this bike. But luckily when I got this bike, it did come with a book. So we will, that's a better picture of where that front bolt is. It's really hard to see on the bike. And what the inside of that, what I was trying to show you, those marks inside there. So let's pull valve covers and, oh, what are we supposed to be at? Oh, over here. 3 thousandths intake, 4 thousandths exhaust. So because we have the left side up, we'll check left side first. And of course, that won't fit. These have little rubber washers on them, sealing the bolts. So you kind of hold tension the whole time you're trying to pull them out. So let's get that off of there. I'll get back to you. Okay, that is a struggle. This thing just runs into everything. I thought I was gonna have to take these off. But once that's off, we have this gasket. There's another one in here. Like I said, I've never taken this motorcycle apart before, so we're learning together. Now, I don't know what that clearance is, but I'll find some feeler gauges and we'll check it out. Okay, this is my, no, that's an 05, that's an 04. So that is just super loose. You just go in there, but that is really, really loose. So that's probably part of the noise we're hearing. And the 04 is what the exhaust side is supposed to be. And with that in there, it's a little loose. So we'll grab a couple wrenches and work through that. It's going to be this 10. Oh my. Yeah, box end. Jiminy Christmas. Okay. So, loosen the nut. Slip in the gauge. Are you kidding me? There we go. Gauge in between, nut loose. Turn the top. So you have that a little too tight. Just a little bit of drag. That's a pretty hard drag. So when I tighten this nut again, as with other valves I've done, that nut will usually suck that bolt up a little bit. And now I have the right amount of drag. Go around and around, do the other side. Hopefully they don't rattle no more. Okay, this is a struggle. There's just not quite enough clearance in there. So I'd pull this piece off from here. But the little gaskets try to fall off every time you're trying to stick this back in there. And it doesn't quite work. So you gotta pick up on that a little bit now that it's loosened up. At the same time, you put that in. And I just put it in upside down. Great. Yeah, by the time you get it back out, your gaskets fell off again. So this takes a while. I'm gonna get some grease and put in there, maybe it'll hold still better. Okay, I found a little gray Permatex. Just put 4 little dots on there. And that should be just enough. Because I mean, these are rubber gaskets, they do their own sealing, but trying to get them to stay when you go upside down proves to be slightly difficult. So maybe that'll help. Because this has to be lifted up while it goes on there. I made it. I'd answer the phone. Okay, now that I've done this side valve adjustment, I will rotate the motor until I have top right cylinder, and then repeat the adjustment on the other side. Okay, well, got that one adjusted, stuck her back together. Let's see if it sounds any better. Probably can't hear that on camera, but I sure can. There is no more rattle. That valve adjustment is where the rattle was coming from. Yay, no more rattle. Got to adjust valves. I think I still have some carburetor issues though, because that's not real happy. We'll try running some cleaner through it first, but I got to do the forks because it's not really rideable yet. But fix the rattle. Okay, I got that put back together. I'm ready to start messing with the forks, but I did notice this. It's not factory. It's some weird, I don't know. Got little magnets on there, like some other kind of speedometer. Seeing that it comes up through the neck right here. Then they also, whoever had it before, put in one of these. I feel like that's gonna, ride down the road and become irritating. So I'm gonna pull the seat, which is a couple bolts under here, pull the seat and the tank off, and just see what kind of craziness other people have done with the wiring or whatever. Turn that off. Oof. That is some crunchy fuel line. Should. Yep. Oh. There's vacuum lines under there still holding on. Because apparently that is a vacuum actuated petcock. Well, that's super not easy to get to. Okay. Remember how this works. The back one goes in the front, and the front one goes in the back. And different size hoses, so that's an easy way to remember. Okay, let's get this side. Yeah, there is a whole lot of wires in here. Wow. That are not factory. Alright, what has somebody done? Let's got the more modern electronic. It looks like a factory board. There's another one of these. Why do we need so many of these? I don't like this. Anyway, that one Currently it's going inside here, but not inside there. So that little wire hooked to the front wheel, for some reason it's going inside here, but there's nothing in here. So I don't know. Okay, I did a bunch of digging. So this little thing, I don't know why it's there. It's like a GPS, or it's like a, I don't know, kind of like a vapor dirt bike speedometer thing. It goes off of magnets down there. But it goes into this box, which is called the compensator. So most of the wires in this box are dead-ended inside here, doing absolutely nothing, except the green and yellow that go to ground, and there's a red and orange that seem to go this way. Doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. It's apparently an adapter for LED lights, but what a cluster just to have LED lights in the back. So probably going to get rid of some of that. Anyway, curiosity got the best of me. We'll tuck all that back in, and that little speedometer thing on the front, we'll just remove it and shove it in there too, because I don't need it. Because the speedometer does work, I think. So we'll just clip all these zip ties and get rid of that and go back to taking the forks off. Okay, I drug this thing. It already has a battery tender right here with a fuse, so this is just extra and doesn't make any sense. So I'm gonna unbolt this from the battery and take it out and get back to my forks again. Okay, I did some more investigating on this goofy thing that's attached down here to the bottom. It picks up a ground speed signal and sends to the LED lights so that they blink differently according to travel speed, whatever. I didn't install it, but I guess I have to put it back. I took it out completely because I want to install it in a little more proper manner than just 1,000 zip ties. So back to taking the wheel off. You got to remove these two, or you don't have to remove, but you have to loosen these two bolts here. Take off both calipers from both sides. Loosen those on the same thing, other side, caliper. Remove all of that stuff. Then I can slide my axle out and drop my wheel out. So those are 14. Maybe? Wrong. There we go. Oh golly, somebody did that properly. They're supposed to be tight. And you gotta take this little screw out right here. Similar on lots of Honda motorcycles. With the screw out, the cable should sometimes get stuck. Oh yes, that one was easy. That should come right out of there. Put that back so I don't lose it, kick it around the floor. And we'll do caliper. order to make this easier to put back on later. Where can I get to? Well, I guess I'm not getting anywhere. I was going to try and compress the caliper a little bit so that I just kind of squeeze so that it slides off the disc and back on easier. But we'll probably have to do that later with a clamp to make that go back on easier. Probably don't want these just hanging here, but these are steel braided brake lines and it's really super light. So I'm not scared. That out of there, because after this is all out, then the fender will come out and we'll start working on pinch bolts. But I'm gonna pull the other side off and we'll go back to. All right, well, it appears this does not work like most other motorcycles I've ever worked with. Don't lose all that stuff, dummy. Actually, this actually does not thread in. It's just held in with the clamps. It's not a bolt. So we learned something new. Tire wedgie in the fender. There we go. Yeah, that's really crazy. It is not a bolt. There's a nut in there. Never seen that before. So, what holds my fender on? This thing is so gross. We really got to clean it. But I want to ride it first. Because of those fork seals leaking, there is just stuff everywhere. Rag. All right, we'll get a 10mm on there and pull that fender off. Yeah, we'll definitely have to clean some stuff before I put this back together. That's nasty. That one wasn't even tight. That one wasn't tight. That's not good. Should move. Yeah, that's been flinging stuff for a long time. We'll get her cleaned up before we put them back together, and yeah, that's how much fork oil we've been dumping. Now this one's got like a bind in it. Hope I don't have bad bushings too. Hoping it's just because they're really dry in there. So now I have to do what you probably can't see. There's that bolt. There's that clamp right there that holds all the wiring in the bucket. And there's one way down in there. So obviously we can tell by the way that it is that I'm not going to be able to show you that because I'm going to be in the way. So I'll get the tubes off of here and then we'll get the rag out of the way. And we'll start taking them apart and see what's inside. Oh yeah, I don't remember if I told you, but these have an air assist. This old sticker you can't read anymore because I had one of these bikes before. I know it says 14 to 17 PSI max. But I gotta get all this hose loose, crossover hose, before I can even take those out, so. Yeah. Okay, that was kind of a pain in the butt. this was in the way of these other bolts but I got them loose. So now they'll pull right down out of there. This ought to really be a drag to put back together. Let's go to the bench. Well, I wiped them off a little bit. Already noticing problems. Get my old glasses on from an old man. Probably not going to show well. Huh? Leaking oil all over the floor because I'm an idiot. Yeah, you take the bolts out of the end. Oil comes out. Anyway, there's damage. Like somebody grabbed it with a pipe wrench trying to take this loose. There's pitting in them. So they'll probably need replaced. But for right now, I want to ride the bike. So I'm going to take some real fine steel wool. Try and get it where I can't feel it very much. There's a lot of rust pitting in there. Yeah, somebody's already been into this one too. It's already been. Yeah, I'm sure work on camera, but. Well, we're gonna reseal them anyway. And apparently, I need to find a drain pan because I'm dumping oil on my boot. Like a big dummy. Whoops. I keep forgetting about that thing. So, I put this back in the triple tree clamp, loosened this, then brought it to the vise. It is under tension, that's the preload tension. But there's your top. It's got an O-ring on it. Appears to be in good enough shape. First preload spring appears to be nasty. Should be able to grab, there you go, there's a little washer that goes, you always want a washer between springs because they'll screw themselves together. That is, I don't know, flippin' disgusting, rusty, nasty. There's chunks in it. And these are in bad shape. Wow. Once I loosen it in the triple clamps on the motorcycle, then I was able to hold it with a glove. And where I'm clamping, unlike the other people, is where the seals don't ride. I mean, if you have to use some sort of force to clamp this, clamp it where the triple trees clamp, not where the seals go. Okay, let me see if I can get this right. Let's get you guys shorter. I know that this is just, it has, by looking at the fork, it either has to have no oil or possibly just mud. Oh, there is absolutely not a drop. Oh, there's a little bit of mud. There's supposed to be 7 ounces in there. You know, about the size of a baby bottle. That's not even the amount that goes in a bottle nipple. And it's rusty. They got to at least work better when I'm done. Okay, if I remember rightly from reading, this is going to be a 6. Maybe I'm wrong. Huh? Guess I don't remember rightly. Oof. Huh. That is a 6. I just pulled the wrong one out of the kit. Why? Rusty and abused. Wonderful. So, oh man, somebody put that one in with a vengeance. Come on, line up somewhere. Right there. Oh, yeah. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Okay. The book says put this in a soft-jawed vise to prevent damage, but I don't figure I'm going to be able to crank that little bolt enough to cause damage unless it's permanently rusted and will never come apart. So, and it's just where the caliper mounts, so should be fine. So we'll set that piece aside. Supposedly, you can just go yoink. No, I'm a dummy. Yeah, don't do it that way. Good thing I'm replacing the seals. I forgot a circlip. Let me get a tool. Okay. So, I'll put my glasses on because I'm old. See if I can get this very carefully. This dust scraper. Oh, there we go. Get that to come off of there. It's also pretty disgusting. You'll take that to the parts washer. Pretty crunchy too. I'll probably, the top's pretty soft. I think it'll be okay. But everything is really gross. So let's get in there with some snap ring pliers. Oh yeah. Up inside there, where neither one of us can see, is a very rusty sear clip. If I got some angles, it'd do that better. That one in that hole, that one in that hole. Holy gravy, it moved. For being that rusty, I'm pretty amazed. Now there's another washer here. I might just let come out on its own. Yeah, there we go. That's a upper seal washer. And then this stuff should. Ooh. That noise was these parts flying out of the inside. Whoops. Huh. That should come out of there. Damn it. That is stuck. Yeah, that seal is like rusted in place. So I'm gonna do a whole lot of beating on this. And pulling it right out of my vise. Okay, get a little. Believe it or not, it's moving. And it's been living in oil, so I don't feel like spraying WD-40 or something is really going to help. There we have a winner. See? That goes against that. Against that. Seal is out. This, well, grab a rag, not your hand, dummy. Okay, this is supposed to be that copper colored, and it's kind of gray, so it's a little wore out. So I'm thinking we're going to be putting these back together and start searching on eBay for some other ones. Is everything about them is terrible. But we'll see what happens when we clean all these parts. It probably is going to get worse. All right, well, parts washer's in another building, but we got everything. Still has gnarly color in it, but like this was super rusty. A little bit of wire brush. This was really terrible. Little wire brush, little parts washer, looking pretty good. These some 600 wet and cleaned up pits and scratches and stuff where I can still feel them, but they're not near as noticeable and less likely to damage the new seal. I mean, it will, it's just going to take longer. And those cleaned up pretty good from the greasy mess they were because of the leaking calipers, or leaking seals. But I'm gonna have some lunch and then we'll put these back together. I'm letting them kind of sit here and dry because I don't want any brake cleaner, parts cleaner to be in there when I put the oil in. So I'm gonna have some lunch. Well, while I was having lunch, I went and pressure washed this. It's still pretty nasty. And lost a little paint because of the oil contamination, but we're gonna wash the rest of it when we get her back together. It's pretty gross. I'd like to figure out where the oil leaks are coming from, so first step is to clean it. But let's get back to putting these things together. I need to make a seal driver. I watched a video on somebody doing it and I don't want to fail on camera, so I'm going to see if I can make it and then come back to camera again. Lunch was pretty good. Okay, here we go. So another guy do this. This is 1.5 inch PVC. He used black pipe, doesn't really matter. But he cut the pipe all the way and then put hose clamps on it because the pipe itself doesn't quite fit. But it's about 40 thousandths off, but when you put a slit in it, it seats perfectly. So, that's my seal driver. Clean up all the little plastic crumbs that I have now, and we'll put this thing together. Okay, I got a phone call, forgot what I was doing. So now this is put together. What I did, I put all of that stuff inside the tube and that piece inside that tube and then put the bolt back in. So all of this is now inside there and looks like this because I forgot to turn the camera on. So then I can collapse this again. Spring would just made it easier to put stuff where it belongs. And I gotta have, I forgot which order because frickin' phone calls do that to me. So, a little bushing thingy. Great. Doesn't work. Why? Backer plate. Curved up this way. Huh, maybe I'll screw it up. Because my phone wouldn't shut up. New seal. A little lithium on there. Come on. Oh, trying to do it wrong anyway. That side down. I believe. Where is the driver? Backup plate, oil seal, backing ring. That's on there. Pushing slider. I think so. I hope so. Bet I'm doing all this wrong. That bushing needs to be in there. It doesn't want to go. So, tear it apart, find out why. Okay, I think I figured it out. Come on. The bushing does go in there. It just takes a little effort. And the backing plate has to go in there. And that's what drives the bushing. So, just that down in there. That down in there. Rubber mallet that. Drive the bushing, then drive the seal. At no time did I ever say I actually knew what I was doing. Oh, let's not do that. Let's find a piece of wood so I don't hurt them bolts when I'm beating on it. That'd be a good idea. I mean, I've seen it done, but I watched a video like a year ago. And I didn't even own the motorcycle at that time. I just like watching videos. That feels kind of solid. What's it doing? Oh yeah, that worked excellent. And that's why we have a board. Okay. Then we have actual seal. Which side up? There's a spring on both sides. Okay. It's really vague instructions over here. So, the bulge seal was that side down, so that's how this one goes. Still has a little lithium on it. That's a difficult spot to get past right there. There's a ring on here that's your alignment for how far the forks stick out from the triple tree. The seal likes to catch on that. Oh yeah. That slides nice in there now. So then that goes. Then the other backing ring goes. And then the seal driver again. Which shouldn't take near as much effort as that bushing did. That all of a sudden feels solid when you're smacking it. But I don't see snap ring groove yet. Starting. Now I have exposed the snap ring groove. Not quite level. Oh, here we're a little more. Are you enjoying the struggle bus? Because I feel like I'm riding it. Here we go, snap ring locked in. Let's find the oil. Found it. Couldn't find my damn dust cover. There we go. Those just snap in. It's cool I have the new ones. I didn't know I ordered new ones, but put this over here. Wrap it up with a glove and not on the area that the seal runs on. And then we put the long spring, the washer, make sure it sits flat, the short spring. There we go. Probably leave that short spring out for now, because I gotta put oil in it. Oh, how do I get to that? Over here. Find my glasses, find out where 7 ounces is, 7.1 ounces, and we'll get back to you. Okay, that book I have is really old, and it says ATF, but I'm going to use actual fork oil. I feel like that line is wrong. Ten ounce of the WD-40 reaches the 14-ounce mark. We gotta investigate, but because that seems like half a jug and it's 33-ounce jug, so we find another container. I don't trust that. Okay, quick trip to Dollar General. Says I should have 210 milliliters, and of course this goes 220, 225, so 200, 225, pardon. So that one says 7.1 equals that much. And that says 220 milliliter. So, better safe than sorry, but that is the correct amount. But considering that's how much came out, you know, I wasn't sure. Well, let's, where is it? Yeah, right there. Let's pour that in, shove the springs in, and try and put that top on under spring pressure. As I was saying, the book calls for ATF, but I'm old, so I know that back in the old days, lots of motorcycles would call for ATF. But doing a little reading on forums about this particular Silverwing 500. Let's put a little bit of that on that O-ring. A lot of guys prefer the ride of a 15 weight. And as nasty as these things are, I'm going to be changing the fork wheel again real soon. So, is this a thing? Oh yeah, that's going to be fun. Okay, it's called I Win. There we go, slipped in the glove, so I guess that's tight enough. Well, there's one. Now, oh, I can feel the oil working in. See, I haven't put the hose back on it yet, so there's no pressure in it. But with, that is way better. And it would appear the battery's dead. So I'll go find a battery and put the other one together. Well, I started taking this one apart and I did notice some nice things. That this one is not all rusty on the inside. And the fluid is, I believe, a better color and a better consistency. And there's more of it, so this one should be easier to finish. Okay, I got the forks back in, but now I have to fish this thing, which holds the brake lines, and this little rubber wind guard way up in here. Imagine a lot of these bikes probably don't have that part anymore because it's so difficult to put in, but I'm gonna put it back. I just can't do that and let you guys see anything, so we'll get that back, and then we'll put the wheel back on, put the tank back on, put it back together, take it for a ride. All right, we got my fender brackets all cleaned back up. Get them put in. All my caps and nuts and bolts and stuff are all cleaned up in the parts washer because I hate that this thing is so nasty. So we'll wedge this wheel back up in here. Such a strange design. I'm gonna line up Speedo over here that nobody can see. Let me get these things on. They're being difficult. Aha. Yep, there you go. That's reality. Lots of guys show this stuff just going together real easy, but it usually doesn't, and it usually takes octopus control. But we're getting closer to riding this thing. Oh, and the camera can't even see what I'm doing. Good job. Yeah, never said I was good at this. Wow, those are gross too. Okay, let me find some cleaner and spray that off with brake clean. Go in the bucket. Okay, we'll get both of these put on. Like so. This. Okay, clean the gunky off of the Speedo cable into a bucket, hopefully. Get it put back where it belongs. We're gonna go out and pressure wash this whole motorcycle because it's kind of nasty. I bet it'll clean up quite nice. Come on. It came out easy. Why won't it go back in easy? There we go. You gotta talk nice to it, I guess. Click. Yucky. Okay. Oh. Anybody see what I did wrong? I do. That cable goes through that loop. Whoops. I have to have the right screwdriver too. See, I like to show that this sometimes things just don't go perfect like they do in the movies. It goes through there. Yup. Put a bolt in that so it'll hold still. Why? You all seen it. It just came out of there. There it is. The screw just came out too. Go back in. Go back in your home. You want to go home. All right. Click. Not as tight as it was when I took it off. Tuck in. Come on. There you go. All right. Now we just have this goofy speed sensor, which is weird. A speed sensor for LED lights. I don't really understand why that's necessary, but you know, it was on there. So we'll put it back. And try and route it a little nicer this time. Well, of course I don't have that wrench, so. Okay, that's put back together a lot cleaner than what it was. I don't really know why I have to have it, but all of this is tucked back in there, routed up nicely, back up through that grommet with everything else. So whatever it does, it's hooked back up again. We'll get everything on here and then we'll wash this thing. So of course I put it back together and forgot to hook up the fuel line, so that's why we have a puddle on the floor. But it fires right up, so we did something right. And now it don't. What the?
Oh, the lights flashed and then it turned back off.
Okay, so it doesn't fire back up. So you get to see a malfunction anyway. Why?
Yep.
Oh, because I turned the key too far. Simple thing. You go on. If you turn it too far, it's off. There we go. I just got the bike. I don't know. Seems to be working. So we should go watch it. I'll take you with me. Okay, I'm gonna put you in the trunk so we can go around the block. It'll be dark, but you'll be okay. Okay, I got you parked in the shade so it's not too hot. Let's wash it. I didn't get any on you, did I? I think we're good. So, they all look good when they're wet, but not too bad. We'll wipe this plastic off. Supposedly that's a new windshield. But it was really nasty down in that motor. Pretty sure the last time this thing got a bath was when it rained and it was left outside. But let her dry off a little bit and I'll take her for a putt. I gotta fix that too. I gotta fix a bunch of things on that. But this handy little thing that somebody welded on is too small to get your foot on. Well, it's not happy. Carburetor sad. I had to stop and adjust the clutch a little bit, but it's alive. 43-year-old motorcycle still works. Thanks for watching Pop Shop. We'll keep working on it. It'll get better. It'll live.